Yeah, we're live.
We are live.
So something might be off tonight with tonight's live stream. Just warning you guys. Because I set it up for the Patreon, so it goes to the Patreon feed now. So all Patreon members should get the notification and update that it's there. So
why don't you put it in the Facebook group now too?
That would have been a good idea, right?
Yeah,
I did already. Yeah, I did already.
Oh, all right.
Did you put this link?
I posted in the Facebook group.
Oh, all right.
You posted the link?
Yep.
Okay, then we're good.
Yeah. Looks like we got a couple of viewers in. What's up, everybody?
There we go. What's up, Tim?
Welcome. We'll get rolling. Oh, Tim, Dave. Uh-oh. Is that true, John? You going for the little punk ski?
Nah. I don't know. Maybe.
To be determined.
Maybe.
All right. I got the Met game streaming on my phone, so someone go through the notes and let's roll.
All right, I'll kick things off.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 218 of the Card Foundation podcast.
Jesus, there's 218 of these?
218 episodes. Going strong. My name is Johnny Tancredi. I'm here, as always, with Danny Tancredi and Papa Bear Paul. Again, episode 218. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at CardFoundPod, on Instagram at CardFoundationPod. Make sure to download the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Let's take a quick look and see if we got anything. I doubt it, but nope, nothing this week. Nothing this week, but if you want to leave us a review, helps us, helps promote the show, goes a long way, and moving up the algorithm and everything like that. So we definitely would appreciate it. And if you do leave us a review, we'll read it live on the show, give you all the credit and everything.
Wow.
Patreon.com/Card Foundation Pod. We got a lot going on the Patreon. We got some bonus episodes coming up. We got the Facebook group, which is as alive as ever, adding new members each and every week. We got buy, sell, trade. I know last week got a little screwed up. Dave, I was trying to put that together, but I think there was a couple of technical difficulties and some other stuff.
No, I thought he was spamming the group. I saw it. He messaged me. I instantly responded because I'm a big instant responder. And I put it in there, but it was a little glitchy. But yeah, Facebook thought he was spamming the group.
Oh, Dave fucked up. Oh, why doesn't anyone give him shit about being on time and coming out every single time of the week?
No, Dave didn't fuck up. Dave did perfectly
every week.
Dave did it perfectly. It's Facebook that fucked up.
No,
Dave was on.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
He probably messaged you to help fix it, and you just didn't fucking ignored it.
I got no message.
Hopefully, this week we'll be better. We'll get we'll get the BST going this week. I actually have some stuff I want to post this week too. So once Dave posts that post in the group, make sure to come hang out and contribute to that. We also got like I mentioned, bonus episodes coming out. And last but not least, ProWrestlingTees.com/Card Foundation Pod. We got the new t-shirt designs up on the site. I think they're doing some sort of spring or Easter sale or something like that. So nice. Might be a good time to.
6 people sent me pictures of their Papa Bear shirts.
Yeah, right.
You were so pissed right there. You were so pissed.
I knew there was no chance.
Yeah, right.
So
actually, speaking of those, I got my 2 shirts in today. I got the logo tee and I got the drip and dime. Yo, you get the little extra premium cotton soft shirt. Oh, fantastic. Fits like a glove.
When are you cutting those sleeves off?
I might have to order a second set to do that. So I'll have one sleeveless and one regular.
Oh, man.
I got to show the guns. Summer's approaching. Summertime's coming. There you go. Double butt. You got to do big pop-up pump style.
Yeah. Oh, that stupid-ass tattoo. All right, what else?
Let's go, Mets. Wherever it is. There it is.
Definitely, check it out. ProWrestlingTees.com, Card Foundation /Card Foundation Pod. It's the first time we've had merch available online, and a lot of people have been asking about shirts over the last couple of years. So now's your chance.
They don't buy them. They asked about them, but they don't buy them. They asked about them.
That's right. Yeah. We were asked to put them up. We get the store. They don't want to buy. So buy a damn shirt. Support the boys.
What's going on? What's new this week, guys?
This week in wrestling cards, we going right into it. What we got?
I was asking about your week in general, but we can do that.
Dude, I've been rescheduling Little League baseball games because I got kids that aren't baseball players. They're basketball players that sometimes play baseball.
Can't be half in, half out.
Oh, no, half pregnant. And it just been driving me nuts. It's like half my team.
Can't do it.
It's terrible. That's why he's on the second team. The second team takes it seriously. So the first team is just his friends and family.
Yeah.
Playing travel. I can't wait I haven't dropped this line yet, but I thought of it the other day when I was driving. Playing travel baseball is a privilege, not a right. So it's a privilege to be on this team.
Nice.
And
well said.
And if I didn't have a wife, I'd have a lot of enemies, but she deletes a lot of the texts I said. Get ready to send out. Get ready to send out.
Well, I have a little story to tell before we get rolling into wrestling card, because people brought it up. So it was brought up in the Patreon group that the Netflix documentary came out about the Long Island serial killer.
Oh yeah, you're all drinking buddy. I knew about that.
Buddy, yeah. Confirmed.
That made me laugh. My comment made me laugh.
Yeah, you popped yourself.
Yeah.
I popped for it too, but yeah. So I gotta let everyone know that he was actually.
All right, give the backstory. The Gilgo Beach murderer that killed several innocent women.
So basically, so everyone was obviously innocent.
You used to, ride around shotgun with Long Island.
Let's take it easy there. Before I get reported to the police thinking someone is real.
They should knock on your door and talk to you.
Honestly, they could have. Well, it's funny. I said if the police would have contacted me, I could have got him months ago. The amount of times he was eating and drinking in my showroom, like easily could have
eating, drinking, and killing.
Well, not killing in my showroom, but yeah. So basically, he was going around and murdering adult sex workers, and I think the body count originally was like
allegedly
3 or 4. What? Say it again.
Is it allegedly?
Yeah.
Allegedly. Well, yeah, because he's in court right now, so we don't know what's gonna happen, even though he's guilty as fuck. But
allegedly, I don't want to get sued with this.
Allegedly. So the body count got up to like 10. He was, for maybe the last 10 years, this was like an ongoing thing on Long Island. Like there was no leads, no nothing. People thought maybe someone from the police was involved and that it was them. And sure enough, the Suffolk County, I think, DA and police chief got switched out. And within like 6 months, they were able to nab Rex Heuermann, who is in court now for the crimes. And he was actually a colleague of mine in the workspace that I'm in. So he was basically an architect. And every month, a part of being in the architectural community, manufacturers throw lunch and learns. So you get a 1-hour seminar. You go to the facility, you watch the presentation, you get to eat food, eat lunch, have a drink, and then you get your credits. So you get 1 full credit for every seminar you attend. So I've seen this guy more than probably 12, 13 times. Coming to the showroom, we knew him by first name basis. Would chat him up when he comes in, just like we do all of our guests. And I shook the hands of a serial killer, potentially.
Did he ever ask you to hang out with him?
No, thankfully. Even though nothing would happen, I wasn't his clientele.
What is a lunch and learn? What do you learn?
I just described it.
What are you learning though?
So you learn about a different educational topic in the construction world. So, like, for example,
where does this credit go to?
Your continued education course is a part of what's called the AIA, the Architects Association of America. So
boring.
Oh, it's what pays my bills. So you know what? Fuck it. But yeah, so basically you have to sit there and watch. So like one of the presentations that I give is basics of brickwork, like how to install brick, proper measures, like all that shit. So yeah.
Did you have you ever partied with him after?
So we had here's the funny part. We had an evening one once, because usually it takes place during work hours at like noon, but you can do optional evening after work. So we called it cocktails and credits. Have a cocktail, get your credit. So I was there with him. What happened?
I come to one of these?
Yeah.
Why don't you invite me?
It's open to the public. It's on our website. Like anyone could attend.
Why don't you have all the boys come? Me, Nathan, Dave, John.
That's all I need. It's for you idiots to come when I'm presenting.
Learn about the brickwork.
Yeah. So now I lost my train of thought because you had to say some dumb shit.
Boys come.
So we had the night one. So the last people in the space were me, one of my coworkers who runs our events, him, and 2 other architects. So we're sitting around, and I'm talking to him, and he's drinking a beer. And all of our night events, we get security because it's Manhattan. There's lunatics that run around. You never know. So at the end of the night, security came up. It's like, all right, we're rounding everyone up. Time to go. So I'm like talking to him. I said, oh, you want me to take that beer from you? And I'll toss it. He goes, no, I'm actually taking it to go. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you can't just walk around New York City with an open, Coors Light bottle or whatever he was drinking.
That's the least of his worries.
Yeah, well, he's like, no, I'm not giving this up. I'm good. And just walks out. So as he's going to the front, he's walking outside and security's going, yo, you can't take that outside, especially if, a police officer's standing there. They see him leaving our space. Like, we don't want it to be a thing. So he said, nope, not giving it up. And just kept walking right out the facility. So security, we tell them not to chase anyone down. If they're going to leave, let them leave and just, fuck it. So, yeah, odds are he probably didn't give me that beer because maybe his DNA was on it. I don't know.
He probably would have killed you.
No, I wasn't his clientele. I wasn't a adult female sex worker. So, yeah.
Well, we don't know all the, it isn't all wrapped up yet. There could be some other things.
Well, there was a male subject that
tried to take his beer from a luncheon credit.
Yeah, almost lunch and learn.
All right, well, that's story time with Danny.
Yeah,
that's a good story. You don't have good stories. That was a good one.
Thank you. Sometimes Ernest the Stinky Cat Miller will come up with
another one over top. Ernest the Stinky Cat.
All right, so Johnny, take us through wrestling cards. What's going on?
All right. Well, once again, second week in a row, we're going to start with some AEW news because we don't necessarily know when this is going to be able to happen again. So taking advantage of it while I can. We mentioned last week, April 9th is 2025 AEW flagship. That's this week. Today's Monday, so that looks like it's coming out on Wednesday. Looks like it should be coming out on time. We haven't heard anything otherwise. Checklist is out. Check that out. A lot of breakers are starting to put up their spots on Whatnot and stuff like that. So if you're looking to get into some breaks, definitely check that out. I think Medina put his already up. There's a couple other breakers that have already done so. So definitely check that out.
Probably Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yep. I know. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be breaking. They usually do AEW stuff. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then last night, so Sunday, April 6th was AEW pay-per-view Dynasty. So I didn't watch it. I'm sure you guys didn't watch it, but
I watched it.
Yeah, I know. You paid $60 to but I just wanted to run through some of the highlights just to kind of, we haven't spoken about AEW wrestling in a while.
Yeah.
So looks like we got Caster versus Bowens, which was pretty cool. Bowens answered the what do you call it? The open challenge.
I've been betting a little bit lately. I just want to check one of my bets. I've been following Filth Bomb Mike on his bets. So
how have you been doing?
I'm up a little bit, up a little bit. I just started checking my phone. I'm big on his over and strikes outs. That's my new thing. Like bet on overs on strikeouts.
Actually, well, I got burned the other day. I would have won $500, but David Peterson only got 3 strikeouts instead of fucking 4. So
I just did the over 3.5 on some guy I never even heard of, and he got 4 strikeouts. Fitz, the Red Sox. Never heard of this one. Sorry. How much is the box AEW?
Probably 150 or 120.
Well, 150 and 120 is a big difference.
I don't know. I mean, it's a flagship product, so I can't imagine it's.
Look it up, Danny. I keep going, Johnny. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to touch on some of the highlights of the show. So looks like Megan Bain and Kevin Knight, 2 upcoming wrestlers. They both had good matches. They both lost, but Kevin Knight faced off Will Ospreay, and apparently it was a good match.
Will Ospreay won't have a bad match.
No.
It's 110, by the way.
Okay. Kenny Omega won. He retained the belt, and then Okada came out with his belt, and they faced off. So it looks like they're gonna run that back, which is cool. It'll be like the first time in the States, I think, that they do that.
But not for the heavyweight title. You know, that would be dumb to put their heavyweight title and two of the best in the world on fucking TV for Americans to actually watch and not have to rely on watching Japan.
Well, there's 2 belts, but
yeah, the international and the whatever jabroni title should be for the heavyweight. They're the 2 of the best in the world.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Adam Cole won the TNT belt. So right after Danny purchased his entire PC, FTR turned on Edge and
Continental title. I did see the FTR turn on Edge.
Yeah, and then Moxley retained.
What up, dude? They're gonna have to bury Moxley with that belt.
Yeah.
Well, apparently,
I don't think Moxley knows it's a work.
The Young Bucks came out and helped him, so I don't think people are wondering why that happened, but I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, the one thing I will say about the AEW pay-per-views is there's at least stuff happens. With like the WWE, I enjoy the format a lot better, getting one per month and not having to pay for each one individually. But there are PLEs or whatever that there's not stuff that happens all the time.
Right, that's true.
They just you'll get your matches, not everything's a big event or whatever, versus the AEW stuff. It seems like titles change hands sometimes. We have some bigger things happen, so that is cool that they continue to do that. But
I'll agree with that too. Actually, that's what AEW does very well, is the shock value of a pay-per-view sometimes with some of the things they do,
and good matches.
Well, that's without being said. It's that's
good wrestling. It's everything else that they're having a hard time with, like the storylines and the character development and stuff like that. But you throw Okada and Omega in a ring, you don't need to be a world-class writer to figure that out. And just let them do it. What they're going to do. So
right.
And then lastly, speaking of Kevin Knight, he is one of the up-and-coming guys in AEW, and he got his first card. So his new Arrivals card was dropped on Upper Deck E-Pack. It's available now, so you can go and check that out.
Sweet.
Well, Moxley moving numbers of people out of the building.
I don't know. People have been hating on this Mox reign.
I hated it last time when I watched it. When I watched with Christian and Edge, I hated that shit.
Yeah, you don't like Edge?
No, I wanted Christian Cage to win when he cashed in his
Yeah. That would have been cool. All right, we do have Topps news. So Topps has released their latest Topps Now cards featuring the debut of Rey Fenix and a CM Punk Paul Heyman card. So has Topps lost some momentum in the past few weeks with their Topps Now?
Or just in general?
Oh, you want to know in general?
Like we don't have any news about.
I think Sapphire put a fucking big bucket of water in that muscle bitch. Because Chrome was.
I agree with you.
Chrome was cooking with those negative zeros, Rock autographs, big autographs, and then Roman had autographs. And Sapphire, the autograph checklist was fucking weak.
Yeah.
They super short printed a lot of the major stars. And you're just looking for color in that. Like you're looking for golds, Papa
There's no exciting inserts, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
Basic.
Only Shotzi and Nia Jax autos only gonna take you so fucking far.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly, I think they're making a big mistake not having anything announced and ready to go for WrestleMania
100%.
In terms of a new product, because I know they're still trying to promote the Chrome stuff and the buybacks and all that, but I mean, more people are going to have their eyes on WWE within the next 2 weeks than the entire year. Right. So why wouldn't you want to have a brand new product ready to go, having people excited to rip it, promote it, or they're opening it on whatnot, they're watching Mania and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just think that it was a big release. Chrome came out, it was super hot, and it's kind of cooled off a little bit now. I mean, I think more of the news has been with AEW and what's going on. I also think the international tour that they just did really did put a bit of a damper on everything going on, because
with like the times of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I'm not watching fucking Raw at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm at work, so and I'm assuming a lot of other people are too. And not everybody works during the day. People have different hours and stuff. But
majority of We'll just say it's safe to say that's the majority.
Right. And by the time I get home, it's like, all right, everything already happened. And I'm like, I go on Instagram. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to watch it. I just saw everything that happens. I'm just going to move on with my day or whatever. And I think a month or a month and a half of whatever of European shows kind of slowed the WrestleMania hype down a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but.
No, I think the hype is still there. I mean, I feel like I want to say every year they go to the UK or overseas prior to WrestleMania, like in that February, March timeframe. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it's always been. And no, I mean, the beauty of Netflix though with Raw is that you can watch it at any time. Like that's, you can't treat it like, oh, it's live and I miss it. I gotta wait till next week. You could watch it at your fingertips, essentially. SmackDown, you don't have that luxury, but yeah, what were you gonna say, Johnny? You were leaning in like
No, I was just reading Dave's comment. Dave wrote European crowds great for a show once in a while, but 3 weeks of hijacking got real old. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
There were cool moments and the crowds were super loud and super, hot. But like a month of that, I was like, all right, I'd rather I want to watch Raw at the normal time again. I'm not watching it in the middle of the day. So
yeah. I mean, I get it. It sucks, but it is what it is.
All right. What else we got coming up? I think I agree with the instant print orders are always kind of weak. They're always not like I feel like the images are always weak. The images aren't cool. The cards aren't really that cool. It's like base paper. They're not. I mean, you gotta do something. They gotta spice that up a little bit.
They have. I feel like they've done a better job though this go around than last.
Yeah, but it's still not amazing. Nothing's like
they're like match cards to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at this point, it is what it is. But at least they're offering something while you're waiting for new product to come out. Like, think about it. Topps Chrome came out when at this point? Was it January or February?
January.
So
January.
3 months of not having another product since.
And then, do we talk about how Sapphire had a release date and then just was released like early?
Yeah.
And then it was just fucking out.
3 weeks randomly dropped before it was supposed to.
Yeah, it was just fucking like it was not really a fucking release date.
Yeah,
so that's kind of weird. I feel like they kind of I don't know what the fuck they did with that. They made that weird. I'm hoping we have no. Nice. You think Finest is next?
I think Dynasty is next because why else would they put it in the commercial if it's not coming quick? I mean, we'll probably see it World. I'll do the road report.
But I also think that may hurt them also because again, it's like another high end product. So you went from a product where the hobby boxes were $400 a box to now Dynasty, which is going to be $800 a box.
$250 to $400 to $800.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, well, when are we getting a $100, $150, even a $200 product that the common man can rip? It's
right. Then you get
for 6 months of Topps, and you haven't had that.
Baseball Bowman's coming out too, so they're all their gears
this week is the pre-order.
Don't forget the problem was Chrome was supposed to be a common man product at $160 a box, and then jacked up to $300-$400. $160 a box for 2 Chrome autos and cassettes and inserts. That's a great buy, but not when it's $300-$400.
Bowman as W product. They put the WEID people in the Bowman as like their Bowman first. The WEID people.
That would be pretty cool.
Short prints, image variations. What's this? Looks like a bunch of Trish Stratus signed redemptions that are being sent to the wrong person. What's that?
Oh, this is a debacle. I thought they were stolen.
So I saw some bits and pieces of the story on social media. I know friend of the show, Gelman, posted about it, and I was reading a little bit of his, but I think they were mailed to one person.
All of them?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a Trish Stratus base on. I got every one of them.
Yeah.
For now, yeah. So I think, or
That's
at least
wild.
maybe, or Trish sent them. Just I don't know what happened. She sent them back, but she didn't send them to the right place, and they got into the hands of someone who now has all of the redemptions.
And guess what? If I'm that person, I'm keeping them all.
I mean, they're online. He might be trying to sell them, or
they're on eBay on eBay on $1, baby, on $1.
Because if you're Topps, I'm pretty sure you could shut that shit down real quick. Like you're getting listings removed.
God.
Remember actually early on in the podcast was when remember the missing superfractors happened?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the dupes or whatever it was.
Dupe superfractors.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You gotta buy them back.
Yep.
Yeah.
How mad would you be
of the buyback?
How mad would you be if you went on Instagram or on eBay and you were like, "Oh, let's see if anyone got their Trish cards in," and you just saw all of them?
That's my fucking
like,
101.
Guess I'm not getting my redemption back.
Yeah,
This guy has all. I got one out of 99. He has all 90. He has one of 199, 2 of 99. All
and what puts even more of a wrinkle in this is that it wasn't even tops. They're Panini redemptions.
Yeah. Panini didn't really give a shit.
You think Panini's going to give a shit and chase this guy down and try to...
Nope.
They don't care. It's like immaculate stuff, and like it's...
In the words of Vinnie Mac's theme song, no chance. That's what you got.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
If you have a Trish Open redemption from Panini, you might be shit out of luck.
You're about to get those Boa autographs as sorry about that, and a pack of Panini NXT.
A Boa auto and a pack of NXT.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about your damn luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squared Circle Expo is back and running in Windham, Indianapolis, 425 and 426. Bunch of some bitches on the show. We got Bret Hart, Brian Moyes, Das
Hawkins, yeah.
Yes, he'll be there signing. Tell him Papa Bear sent you. Give you a free bendy. I don't know if that's true. Don't say that. I have no idea. Claudio Castagnoli, Danhausen. Danhausen does not miss an event to fucking sign shit.
No.
Dean Malenko, Bischoff, Headbangers, Heath. Redheaded Fabio. Let me sign him fucking autographs. Jerry the King Lawler, Joe Hendry, Takashita, Chris Stat, Kurt Angle, Lex Luger. Oh, shit. Here we go. Macchiato, Cardona's there, McFoley, Moose, Nick Namath, Arj Cassidy, the Outrunners, Raven. That's so Raven. That's when I said Raven, that's what I thought. That's so Raven.
Like the show, that's so Raven?
Yeah, Carol Rikishi, Ron Simmons, X-Pac, Swerve, Swaggle, Thunder Rosa, Terry Runnels, Tori Wilson, Ospreay, and Zilla Fatu. So that is a fucking, if you need anything signed, go to that goddamn event.
Damn, Ospreay would be a good one to get.
That's a who's who. So let us know if you go. Send us some pictures if you go and get a lot of things signed there. It's a big crew.
Yep.
And purchases. You guys buy anything this week?
I don't think I got much of anything. Let's pull up the old eBay here.
I had good brother Evan Beauvais hit me up. He just wrote to me. What did he write to me?
I did get something from him. I can tell you that.
Text me at a picture at 10:44. Did you want this? At 10:45. It was the Hogan brother. Come on, brother. You know that card I wanted?
Oh, yeah.
With 10:44, 10:45. Money was in his PayPal account.
So I did the same thing.
Brother deal. If you Evan on what's his Evan on tour on Twitter.
Evan's on tour.
Best to do business with. Fair prices. Said it looks good. I said say less. In my head, I said say less. I got a nice brother card on the way. Great price. So that's a guy you want to do business with.
I just bought from him it was the Marks of Champion Liv Morgan auto to 150.
Oh, you bought that? I'm looking at it now. He sent me that picture. You bought that today?
I bought it from him, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good price now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah. Shipped, money was in his account maybe a minute later.
Yeah, the best, yeah. So he's like, brother.
I didn't get anything from Evan because I didn't know he was even selling shit, so.
Well, no, he knows who we PC, so he'll hit us up like he'll hit up and be like, "Oh, you need a Chelsea
card." I talked to him about other shit.
Yeah, I'll be like, "No, I'm not good." He sent me that. I go, "Yeah." I legit think I was at a red light, and I said, "Yeah." Before the light turned green, the money. I was like, "Boom, boom, boom!" Send it to me. Yeah, that's going right to PSA. Can't wait to get that one. Hope that.
I was actually talking to Evan the other day about what do you call it? Infant sleeping shit because my daughter's not sleeping. And he was just, I think I posted something. I was talking about something, and he was just like, he messaged me. He was like, "Dude, it gets better. Don't worry." He's like, first year is a fucking blur, and we're just gonna kind of going back and forth or whatever. But,
well, your daughter is also an animal, and she thinks she's Roman Reigns out here.
Well, that's what happens when.
What way is she Roman Reigns? What does that mean?
She's a fucking animal. She's a wrestler. She just throws herself around and doesn't even give a crap about what happens.
Well. She has 3 uncles and 2 grandfathers who have only had boys that don't know what to do with, I guess a granddaughter and a niece. So they're just, like when Danny comes over and he's just like, "I'm going to play with, you're going to play with your daughter." And he just throws her into the couch. I'm like, well, Not how you play with girls, but all right, whatever.
Look how high I can throw her.
Yeah, but she loves it. She's smiling and laughing, and
that's why she's nuts. So thanks, but she's also not sleeping right now. So it's
she's also going to be able to.
It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Let's wrestle around a little bit. Get her up.
Yeah, that's what he does. And then he's all right. I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's not that late.
What purchase we got for the Patreon members Facebook group?
Want me to run it through?
Yeah, run through it.
Let's pull it up on my.
It would be cool if you could pull it up on the screen. You do that?
Yeah, actually, should I?
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be cool.
I think I have the Facebook open. Let me just yeah. Good idea there, Bear. You love a good shared screen.
Close all your your apps. I know they're just clicking out like 10 of them right now.
I'm not going to enter P into the search bar.
Yeah. We know we're going to see it all.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, I can. Hold on, please. Almost there. Let's present.
Click.
We got t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, and we're doing fucking live cut-ins on the Patreon purchases. It took
We're slow and steady. We're gonna be the biggest podcast in 45 years.
Oh, you gotta. StreamYard only allows you to do it on Chrome, so now I gotta sign into Facebook on Chrome. There's a whole disaster.
All right, Johnny, you want to read through them and see if you can pop it up?
Sure. Let me just pull them up.
Oh wait, I'm actually signed in on. Give me 2 seconds. I can do it fast. Hold on.
I'll read some in the chat. So Marcus wants to know, with Raw and the National Championship on, Danny, how the hell are you watching the Mets right now?
Because I don't give a shit about college basketball.
My bracket was busted.
Yeah, I was out in round 2, so at that point,
John's going far. We're going way too far.
Oh, I had the opposite. I had them out.
Oh, I had them going far. I think I had them in the championship.
Oof.
So what do you guys think of Vladdy signing the extension today?
Yeah, Vladdy, $500 million. Good for him. I like Vladdy.
Can you see this?
Yeah, it's not the best.
No, I switched screens. I want to see if you could switch.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Now you just lost it.
Hold on. Doesn't let me show Facebook, I guess.
You just had it.
You saw the whole Facebook?
Yeah.
Because once I switch screens, I don't know what.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, we saw the whole post.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'll do it again.
Oh, yeah, Facebook right there.
Yeah.
All right. So, Russ Saylor got a Woods in Galactic in trade and a bunch more in comments. A Chelsea Steel Cage, a few Kofi autos from Chrome Flawless, Kofi patch to 8, New Day headshots finally, and a New Day out of 13. So I'll drop these down so you guys can see the cards.
Yep.
There they are. All right, Danny Medina. The journey of a card is pretty cool. Fenway Card Guys pulled this back in 2022 and offered it to me back then, but I passed on it. Wish I never did. Luckily, it popped up for sale recently, and I was able to get it. Roxanne Perez, Green Mezzanine, Rookie to 5, BGS 9.5.
Dude, I love mezzanines.
I'm also shocked to see this card in a BGS.
Yeah. I'll leave it like that. That was good. Like, yeah, just click on them like that.
Yeah, but then I can't read.
Oh.
Oh, wait, can I? I could. Yeah, from Jeff Montalvo. Bought some NXT on-card auto lots for super cheap.
That's cool.
My autos only top loader binder. People like Oni Lorcan, James Drake, Cesar Bononi, Tyler Bate, and Cassius Ono. Unfortunately, they came with 2 versions of Velveteen Dream.
I know Danny has all the versions of that.
I got all of them already.
Those boxes with Cassius Ono, those boxes were so cheap at one point, and then they went crazy. Oh, dude, who got that?
Tim Jacob. Got the itch last weekend, so I drove around trying to find a hobby box.
Oh, yeah.
Out everywhere. I made one last stop on my way home and found 3 hobby boxes sitting on the shelf. I gambled on the middle box and was kind of regretting my choice at first, as both autos were at a 150 for people I already had autos of, Priest and Ilya. Got to the last pack and was shocked to find this waiting for me for some last pack magic. Feel the pop. Stone Cold Steve Austin. These apparently fall 1 in every 54 cases.
Yeah, it's not as cool of a card, but it's so rare. Like, I think the brother one's a little bit cooler, but 1 in 54 cases, I'll take that one over.
Oh, this is a good one. Numbered 6 of 6 FOTL. Liv Morgan. Another 260 days. Panini, let's go.
Shit, I'll take that. 260 days for that card. That's a real nice card.
Yeah. From John Thurman, 2022 Allure Serena Deeb Title Ambitions Auto. Good old A-Dub. Tommy Redgrave had been on a self-imposed buying ban to save money for an upcoming Singapore trip, but when a out of 25 Ren Sinclair Sapphire Auto went up on UK Whatnot, I knew I had to grab it for the PC. I like the Sapphire parallel.
Yeah, they're nice. Too many NXT autos in Sapphire, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was. Brian Lyons got in my first Topps Redemption a rookie auto to 5 of Tavion Heights, a nice National Treasures, International Treasures auto of Shinsuke at a good price, and lastly, Top Slam advertising worked on me. Bought a couple random spots in the Mama Breaks. They advertise skunked on the better name, Liv Morgan, but did decent with all of E. To out of 25 Idris Sanofi and a out of 10 NXT auto of Ethan Page. Little Sapphire ski right there. Looks like we have a couple more. Tom Floyd got my first ever PSA sub back. Out of 14 cards, I got 6 10s and 8 9s. For wrestling, I got 9. I got 9s of 2023 Prism Cody Teal out of 49, 2023 Select Roman Auto Memorabilia out of 49, and a Rhea Rookie Chrome Refractor, as well as the same card in a 10. The other graded were all Otani rookies.
Oh, shit.
Not a bad person to grade there.
Sure. I would like to see those too, Tom. Are you in there?
Yeah. Gerard Butchko. Slow week, wrestling card-wise, scored a Zoe Stark auto during a break. Otherwise, I've been working on my starting lineup baseball collection.
Yeah, I was like, those are all starting lineup cards. Bernie.
That's a nice Jeter I like.
Yeah, that's
bottom
cool
right.
Jeter.
That's a cool card. Tim Jacob. And for the super collection, bought another 1-of-1 home to close. Home to close yet another rainbow. WWE National Treasures, Memorabilia Auto Platinum. Also, the Superfractor Red and Orange Redemptions arrived last week.
That's the 101 right there?
I guess so, yeah.
Fucking base.
It does. It looks wild.
Fucking National Treasures.
Dave Nagel just doesn't want to say anything. He just says, Fatu Silver and a Biggie, $5 card.
That's how you do it. Boom.
Still looking for the Fatu out of 99 if anyone has one.
Oh, hit up Johnny if you have it.
Short print?
Russ Saylor, last week for my B-Day, I took some gambling winning and got 2 of the celebration boxes and got the case hit. A Walk This Way of Santander.
Nice.
That's cool. And Tim French, another non-card related week. This dumbass didn't realize that the end of his backpacking trip ended with him in Vegas during Mania weekend. So got my wife and I tickets to go to Stand and Deliver. If anyone's going, hit me up. Then this weekend, I got to meet the hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley, and got his 3 Faces of Foley figure set autographed. Great dude who I highly recommend everyone getting to meet if they have the chance.
This is a car accident.
And there it is. That's cool.
That is cool. Damn, he took his time with that too.
And that rounds us out.
That's cool. We should have done that years ago.
Yeah, why don't we ever think of doing something like that?
But ideas, man, Michael.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got to see? Go back to my notes here. Sorry, I got kids canceling on me on I'm trying to change baseball games, but the baseball game works for some people, not for others. It's honestly terrible. All right. Let's take a break and then get the card corner.
So let's take a breather because I have Marcus Brandon coming in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
I did.
So we got to change the whole card corner then.
What did we originally have?
We'll just save this card corner for next week.
Yeah. Because I didn't know you hit him up. So
well, next week is officially Mania week, so we'll do the
card.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point.
All right. So then you're going to run this then because I don't have any notes.
I got you.
I have a few hard-hitting questions for him. So
do you? Oh, so you could take it and run with it then?
No, I don't have any fucking questions for him.
Oh.
What's he's getting signed? What's he getting signed? And how's he bringing it?
That's what we're gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Give me 3 minutes.
Fuck, it's Brian's birthday this weekend.
Myers?
Yeah.
It was or it is this
weekend?
No,
it is. His birthday party's this weekend.
Yeah, in Vegas.
At Cap.
I thought he was. Isn't he the 20th?
He is the 20th, but we're having it this weekend at Cap. Should be fun.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm seeing. It's good because all his friends are my friends, so I get to see everybody.
Nice.
I was hoping we do like a little roast of them, like Dice is up there, a little roast of Brian. It's really hard to roast Brian and really hard to get him fucking a gift, to be honest with you. Guy buys whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
So I did come up with a gift though.
Full disclosure, what is it going to be?
You don't listen to this shit anyway. Met stickers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but the way I got it is it's what the fuck is it?
See, that's cool though, because that's something like people won't buy that.
Yeah, it's 2 tickets field level. You pick the day and game. He picks the day and games. 2 tickets. So I got him 4.
They do that? You could.
Yeah, you could buy. You could buy. No, he bought me a matching silver chain. Actually, this chain right here, Brian bought me. This one. But yeah, it's at BJ's for $100.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, $100. 2 tickets field level plus a $30 food and beverage credit to select home games, and you just got to redeem the code.
That's cool.
So I got that. So
Tyler Barnes, yes, I am doing autographs of Braun Breaker and Tiffany, and I'm doing a photo op with Stone.
You're doing another autograph with Tiffany?
Can you, before you judge me, can I say what I'm going to do? So
He's
I want
one more from being on the list.
It's on my chest.
She's lucky I don't pull out my meat and ask her to sign that. Well, I'll go to prison, but.
Did you learn that trick from your friend?
Yeah, from my buddy Rex.
The Gilgo Beach Killer?
The Gilgo Beach Killer, my good
What
friend.
about her promo, man? That was a hard promo.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even, yeah.
That was what are you 0-3 like you are in life? That's why, what's his name's in my DMs? And they're both wearing the same outfit. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame Tiff for that. Like, Charlotte, you're the veteran, and if you're the one that potentially goes off script first, reap what you sow.
Charlotte went off script first?
I think so. Because think about it, if you're Tiff, you're 2 years of being on the main roster, you're probably not going off script, and just shooting from the hip on Charlotte. Like, she probably instigated her in some way.
Well, what'd she say I was mean? I only saw the good stuff at the end. I didn't see any of the beginning stuff.
I don't recall off the top of my head, but I think I watched it like 3-4 times.
What are you 0-3? I was like, who? She just got divorced too. That's just a fresh wound.
Well, yeah, and the fact that she talked about it to like some magazine or interview or something, that also didn't, that didn't help.
It was just a work. Just a work.
Yeah.
We're all just marks.
At the end of the day, pretty much. Yeah, but if anyone sees me at WWE World,
you're handing out micro brawlers with your number on it.
That was a little expensive for me to be buying my own micro brawlers. That will never sell.
No, at least you can admit to it.
I mean, I could, yeah. You'll just see him pop up one day on our Pro Wrestling Tee store.
Yeah. Little micro brawler, little tchotchkes.
Yeah.
Marcus, what the fuck are you doing? Let's go.
Marcus Brandon is unprofessional. I told him 9:30, 9:45 will be ready. And we were ready at 9:43.
On the dot.
I timed it out.
You better have a speaker and some headphones.
That's also a gamble and crapshoot.
What's the score of the Met game?
What happened?
The score of the Met game.
1-0, top 9, 1 out.
Hell of a game.
No Diaz tonight. Stanek is closing it out. There he is. Mr. Marcus.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
How you been?
What took you so long?
What happened? You're in the middle of breaking, and
we're running out of material here to talk about.
I'm fucking. I don't know. If you both didn't know I was coming on, only Daddy did. Last
no
week
idea.
I was listening to the pod, and Daddy's like, "We're gonna have Marcus on next week," and I was like, "That's good to know." I got a business trip at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. No one told me about this shit yet, so I was packing and putting my kids to sleep and packing my shit for WrestleMania all at once.
That's Danny being unprofessional.
That's a Danny move.
That's Danny. That's Danny. That's us. All right. I want to know first. I'm going to ask you the question.
Yeah.
You bringing a separate bag worth of shit you're getting signed to WrestleMania?
Yes. but that was not. If you would asked me yesterday, I would have said no. I was planning on shipping. I was planning on shipping everything.
Oh, that okay.
But so in like Vegas hotels, to ship a package there, you have to like go to their business center, and they charge you to receive and ship your package, even though I already have labels. So like,
Whoa.
I packed the box today. It was like 18 by 18 by 16. Weighed it, got the label. It's $60 to mail it each way. So like that's $120 on shipping, and then it's going to be an extra $35 for them to receive it and ship it for me. And I was like, I feel like that's completely illogical to spend $155 on one box, and I have another. And I was flying out on Southwest. I was flying back on United, and I had this epiphany that Southwest allows you to take 2 check bags for free. So I canceled my return flight on United, booked a return flight on Southwest so I can have 2 bags go both ways. And then I have to ship like a small box that's like a couple things that, depending on how it goes on the way home, I'll just get that in my suitcase or I'll ship that back.
Yeah, it's easier just to ship it back.
Yeah, it's easier, but it's also like now that WWE World goes on Monday, it's like at what point in Monday am I? And I was supposed to check out Monday. Like, where am I going and shipping all this shit? Where am I packaging this?
Going to a UPS store on Monday to
well, yeah, that's exactly. So I was like, this way I can ship out a package whenever the fuck I want to and take anything that gets signed Monday and put it in my suitcase and bring it home. But I'm hoping to just ship this one package out and nothing back. But also it depends on like what I buy at WWE World. If they're giving out free fucking Prime again and those bottles are still selling for $70 a pop on eBay, like I'll ship home a whole fucking box of figures and take home a whole suitcase of Prime.
You have to buy a second flight on Southwest.
I'll need to buy a new bag too.
Yeah.
How many Primes did you get last year?
I don't know. I literally saw it came up today and like the app Time Hop, like it shows you your pictures and like from Facebook, Instagram, and on your phone, like on this day a year ago, this day 2 years ago. So like I have it because it's really cool to like look back and like watch my kids grow.
Yeah, I do it with Snapchat.
Yeah, so but this just like loops everything into one. So I literally came across this picture today. It looks like I had 5, 9, 11, 16.
So how many did you sell?
All of them.
Oh, perfect.
Damn.
Why would I need that? Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. I drank one. The first night I drank one on the way home from WrestleMania because I was thirsty. But otherwise, I sold everything else.
I got one for Little Paul for his championship game. Who gave it? Somebody gave it to me. Who's nice enough to give it to me? Somebody sent me one. Was it you?
No, I don't think so.
I think no, it wasn't. I would have
Mike Frias?
It could have been Frias.
Yeah, I had it for Paul's championship game, which he was pumped for.
I never even saw them.
I did sell the empty bottle that I drank from.
That's wild.
Where were they? So you got them? Like where'd you
when you were leaving? It was like they were passing them out inside the gates, so like you couldn't just pull up outside and take them. But they like loaded pallets into the stadium, and then when you were like walking out, they were like at 2 of the main exits.
So how'd you
the
get
first
that
night? Like my buddy walked out with, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I had like a backpack full of them. And the second night, I was like, "Follow me. Like we need to recoup our money from this trip."
Yeah, we got a lot of money. We're walking away from a lot of money here, cuz.
Yeah.
Well, so we have you on.
Go ahead, Jay, take it. You surprised me. I had one. Go ahead, Danny. Go fucking ahead.
No, you're the one that's like, "Oh, take over the interview." You know the questions you want to ask him, and I can't even get a question in.
Go ask a fuck question.
All right. Well, just to give a little bit of background about
how do you plan on packing all your stuff, Marcus?
Do we even intro this whole thing back?
No, I'm trying to intro it, and Dickhead keeps fucking asking questions.
Wait, so none of that was on, right?
No, this is live right now.
Oh, perfect. All right, great.
We're leaving this in. So, to give a background about you, Mark, so we had you come on last year because you're a veteran of the consignment, getting autographs done in person game. We figured we'd bring you on for little tips and tricks. We have a lot of first-time listeners that are getting into cards or maybe attending WWE World for the first time. So want to get your expertise, what you recommend, whether it's WrestleCon or for WWE World.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me. I guess I already shared some of what's going on, but maybe in a little more organized, we can hammer it out. It's very different this year, so I feel like there's a lot to talk about and also a lot of unknown.
Were you consigning for Worlds or just WrestleCon?
So because of World, I actually didn't take that many consignments this year. For two reasons. First off, because as I was saying, shipping stuff out to Vegas, like, if when I do consignments, I usually charge $10 to $25 an autograph. Most people are 10, 25s if I'm like waiting in line to meet like the Hardys or like a
Yeah.
Ric Flair, like a bigger name. And some of them I won't even do. But it's like if I'm tacking on 10, $15 to a name, and then off the bat, just for me to ship it back to you on top of paying normal shipping, I got to pay another $15 to ship it to you because of how Vegas is set up. It kind of, the autographs become a little too expensive. And then also because of there's a lot of names I wanted at WWE World, and without knowing what the schedule was going to look like. And then when I started buying tickets, like, I would hate to have someone's item with me and, tell them I'm going to get this done for you and not be able to deliver on that. So with World being kind of an unknown, I really pulled back. I have one guy reached out to me and was like, "Hey, can you take these? It's 2 figures." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll get them done for you." But otherwise, I got to figure out other ways to recoup my money this year.
Well, in terms of the exclusives,
the unknown is tough. The unknown is tough. Like, if you knew what you're going into, like, I did this. Yeah, it could be the easiest thing in the world. You could have got a 500 thing signed, or it could be like very, very hard and limited, and you can't do it, rushing you. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, last year I think between myself and my buddy Lucas Cacuccio, I think we did like 60 something consignments on top of our stuff. But WWE World, I was there for one day, and it was before WrestleCon even started, so it was like no problem. They extended WrestleCon to 4 days, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then WWE World is 5. And the hours of WrestleCon it's weird this year. The more days, but much shorter hours. So it's tough.
Yeah. So now at WWE World, you're the king of flipping the exclusives. Give us the rundown of, what you're looking for, how that works. Do you go in knowing particularly what you want to go for, or is it on the fly while you're there?
It's really on the fly because, like, when it was Access, which was basically WWE World before Fanatics got involved. So it's when they ran their own convention, they were known for doing the same things every year. So you knew that you were going to get those 8x10s that were numbered to whatever year WrestleMania it is, whether that was, 32, 35, whatever it was. And they were all going to be the same price. Like, it was like they were like, one year they were like $30 and $50, and then they would go up, but there was basically 2 tiers. It was like your normal tier and your superstars. Last year you walked into WWE World and there was just signed 8x10s, unlimited. Everyone's a different price. And it'll be interesting to see if the items they have this year are the same as what they had last year. I'm sure they're going to switch it up. Like, I'm sure they'll do the blind bag helmets, but will they do turnbuckles again? I imagine so. They've been doing them for every event whenever they have a pop-up, but will they be numbered to 41? Will they be signed by a match, or will they be individually signed? Like, it's tough to know. So I just kind of get in there and run around like a maniac and figure out what I think is the best, potential.
What are you carrying with you? Like a big book bag, or how are you carrying this shit?
Well, so I mean that they give you bags like when you buy stuff, and obviously the superstore is in WWE World, but the superstore opens earlier day one than World opens. So I'll go wait in line when it opens, grab a bunch of stuff, and then leave, drop it all off, and come back.
Nice.
They have a bag restriction this year, which I don't think they did last year, and it's not that, I want to say it was 16 by 12 or something like that. Like, it wasn't that big. Yeah, definitely. That's not the right size, but definitely check that out. Last year, I know it was clear bags, but there wasn't a size restriction on it. Like, you don't want to show up with your backpack and have to check that somewhere, especially not in Vegas.
No.
That's terrible when you go to a football game and my wife was like, "I got my purse. I gotta go wait in a 50-person line to go check a purse."
Right, and you got to wait in the longer line to get in first to then have to do that.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, I would say if like I don't want to like skirt the question. Like I can't tell you what the moneymaker is. Like I would say you want to find something that's unique and something that that if it can be repeated, it won't be the same. Meaning like if they do turnbuckles again, they're not going to have the WrestleMania 41 logo on them. So like what they sell this time is really what they're going to have. So look for stuff like that. In an 8x10, unless it's like hand numbered 101 with a sick inscription or something like that. Like I feel like for what Fanatics charges, if you're buying a photo, you're not making your money back. And if you're buying like, oh, this 16x20 is sick, like think about how you're getting that home. They do have a lot of really cool shit that's super limited. They have belts, they have mini belts, they have side plates, they have full-size belts. The full-size belts sell, but like when the store opens, a mob of people run to that area and it's like mayhem and they're limited. And I think that they're probably like retail for like $1,000. So like be ready to drop that immediately and then run out of the place. They'll do stuff like signed turnbuckles from the last, like it will be like in like a post and like a shadow box that's like from the last 3 manias or like pieces of the rope and that kind of stuff. If you're buying those big ticket items, like you got the pockets and you want to take them to flip them, like you will be able to make money. But also with that stuff, they either give you shipping boxes or they'll ship it for you.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You spend that kind of money,
but they're not cheap, so you're kind of paying for it. But yeah.
So now for WrestleCon, so when you're doing your consignment, you're getting a bunch of stuff signed. What are the most important things that you need to know when you're approaching that wrestler and they're about to sign your stuff?
Yeah. So first off, unless you're meeting, I would say the exception is Mick Foley. Unless you are meeting Mick Foley, bring your own paint pens or bring your own whatever you want. Paint your pen, Sharpies, whatever else. And make sure they're primed. Like you don't want to be standing at the front of the table, shaking pens, pressing tips, making sure, and then having ink go everywhere. So take care of that ahead of time. What I usually do is I like the first morning I'll crack, one of every color. And I take either like I have it on the floor. I usually take like an 8x10 top loader.
Do a little
a small card top loader and just like scribble all over them with your markers. First off, you do this with all your colors. You lay this over a figure and you're like, oh, red looks good. So it allows you to kind of see what it's going to look like on the fly. Second off, a piece of plastic is what a piece of plastic is more or less what you're going to be getting signed. So it also gives you a good idea of how the ink is going to flow when it goes on to a figure. And I would also say make sure you prep all your items. If you're getting every item has a nuance. If it's like a major bendy, like there's like this like little clear coat on there, you want to like rub that down. If you're getting a card signed, know what it is, know how you prep that. If it's chrome stocked, are you the type of person who rubs a microfiber cloth in it? Do you put baby powder on it? Like personally, I put baby powder on a lot of items. UFC gloves, trading cards, figures, put that on and rub it in with the microfiber cloth or like, a rag, whatever you got. Like if you're prepping in the hotel room, use bath towel. Rub that in really well, and it kind of helps like take that shine off, and it helps the ink stick better. Like it doesn't mean it's not going to flake off later.
Here's actually a question that just came in that maybe you could help us with. Tyler Barnes, Marcus, what would you get a WrestleMania banner signed with? I have a WrestleMania 34 Rousey one. He was going to get done.
Assuming that you mean like the flag, like the banners they put on like the light poles that you can like, you used to be able to get them from like City of Commerce, or like Chamber of Commerce. Whatever from like a city, they would sell them after. I would say depending like a paint pen on that, I would definitely use Sharpie or Deco. You don't want a Posca on that; it will chip.
Yeah.
Depending on the coloring of it, if it's dark, you get a brand new like silver Sharpie. Or gold Sharpie. I feel like that's also a good play.
Yeah, I think a silver Sharpie would pop on that.
I would worry if you're getting it signed on the person using a black Sharpie. Black usually fades over time, even blue sometimes on that like that vinyl type material. It's similar to like a replica basketball jersey. And if you ever got one of those signed in a Sharpie, over time it like just fades and bleeds out.
Yeah. This is why we're happy for the hard hitting questions here to help the people out. It's funny. I've been getting stuff signed for forever. I have never thought to just mark up with every color on a plastic and just put it over the item that you're getting done.
I literally had this thing since like probably 2018. This is like the one. Whenever I can't find it and I'm like mailing it to high spots, I like start sweating. I go into a panic trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I take like a little like semi-rigid and I start like marking up another one and then I find it. It's usually somewhere on the floor. But yeah, and then the other thing with WrestleCon, be prepared. Like, know where your stuff is. I mean, if you have your figure and a defender, you got to pop it at the front of the table. Like, that's fine. But like, if you have a bunch of items, don't be like popping 20 figures out defenders and like waiting. Like, everyone wants to get through. And like I said, this year the hours are weird. They're short, and it's going to be, if you have a long list, you're going to have to hustle, and people behind you want to hustle too. So definitely, don't be that person that's tripping up the line. Whether you're, telling Matt about how he was your hero when you were little, or trying to fumble to get all your stuff done.
You took the words right out of my mouth. And that's not an autograph tip. That's just like an autograph session at being on a line tip. These guys, I'm sure they appreciate hearing everyone, we're their hero, but they don't need to hear the story. Keep the line going.
Well, know the line behind you. If you got nobody behind you, you can tell. You can add an extra minute. But you got the lines going long. Get that shit done. Yeah, you're my hero. You changed my life. You might sign this. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, like last year at the so I did not meet Ronda Rousey last year, but I had someone take my figure and get done. And I was on another line, and they said that like the whole line was just like every single person was like, "You changed my life. You changed my life," and she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." But like, he was like, when I like turned the last corner, I like saw 8 people in a row say it, and it was just like at that point it's like just slowing everything down a little bit, and like. Yeah, I mean, if you have a special story or something crazy, like by all means, you're paying for this time, but like say it quick, don't tell them the life story, whatever else.
Yeah, I say everybody's got minute. You got a few words to say, get it out. This reminds me of this, and get it out. I'd prepare my speech till I got to the front of the line,
and then you get to the front, and you would probably fumble through it anyway.
I'd be like, just sign this shit, and I get the fuck out of here. Sign my shit.
That was like when I just did Bret Hart at or whatever was the big event. Took fucking forever for, I had like maybe 30, 40 people in front of me. It took over an hour, and I was like, come on, this is.
Well, he also talks like that's like, like if you're planning on meeting Diamond Dallas Page at WWE World, especially where he's got like a short block, like first off, I'm shocked if they actually got through all the tickets they sold, but don't plan on meeting anyone else. For like an extra hour. He's the nicest guy. Like it's not a knock. It's a good thing, but he talks to everyone. And like, that's if they sell 200 tickets, like he doesn't have 400 minutes like that. You don't have that.
Well, I think what helped Danny and I too is that we came from like the sports world where we've been doing sports signings since we're 10 years old. And those guys truly don't give a fuck about how big of a fan you are, how your batting average, whatever. They don't care. They just, they're there for contractual obligations or whatever. So, Danny and I would do that all the time. We'd go to a game or we'd go to BP or something. Hey, quick, like, hey, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. Quick picture, quick autograph, and keep it going. And, we've kind of taken that advice.
That's what I used to do at the Nets games in Jersey. I used to just go with like backpacks full of like jerseys and binders of photo. Like the amount of Brooke Lopez autographs I have is absurd. Like it's got to be 50, legitimately.
Yeah.
Every game he was just down to sign everything for everyone. Like, it's if you're a nice guy, like I was there to take advantage when I was, 18.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I've seen Johnny says that, but I've seen him glaze Michael Conforto when he met him.
One time.
Just glazing him.
One time. That was my guy.
You're my hero. You're my favorite man.
Yeah, but he's my hero. Yeah. Suck a dick.
The other thing I will say when it comes to like, if this is, again, I'm not knocking you if you are trying to talk to them. If you want your minute talking to somebody, do it at the autograph table, right? Like if you want to talk to whoever, and you get your item signed, they're signing, you could talk to them then. And then if you're getting a post photo, they'll stand up. You got a couple seconds. if you're doing a pro photo op, like word to the wise, if you're doing a pro photo op, you are there to get a picture, and you will be in and out within 15 to 20 seconds of when you get to that X. You're not going to have time to talk to someone. You're not going to get to tell them your life story. Like, I was in a pinch in Dallas where the first person I went to was John Moxley because I needed to get a couple chase figures signed. It was a 4-hour WrestleCon session the first day. After I was second in line after 90 minutes, I gave up and got offline. He wasn't there yet. And it really threw off. I had a bunch of consignments to get done. I had, all my stuff. And what I realized is I was going to miss Bill Goldberg because they'd already cut off his line because it was so long. Wow. So I just was like, screw it. I need this photo. I bailed on getting my figure signed. I got the pro photo, which was great. It came out awesome. Like WrestleCon does a great job with those. I'm sure WWE World is going to. I didn't do any of the pro photos last year. I got a ton of them this year. But I literally walked up. They told me where to stand. I said, hi, took the picture, made a go dogs comment. He said it back, and I was literally back with my stuff in my hand. Maybe 20-second interaction.
Yep.
Beautiful picture. And if you want to get a lot of photos, those lines move real quick. You can get them faster than waiting on the autograph lines at the table. Right. But if part of your meet experience isn't the photo that you can keep later, it's the actual meeting of the wrestler and the interaction, don't expect that on a photo op line. Go to their table. Your photo's not going to be as good, but you're going to get a little more time.
Right.
Do you ever get the photo signed with you and them? Like later you get that pro photo and then you come back, you meet them later with that?
That was like a big thing I did. I mean, I would say when I was younger, but I feel like that's very misleading. I would say earlier on when I was getting autographs, when I used to do a lot of UFC stuff, that was always my go-to. And like I said, when I used to do the net stuff and when I was doing wrestling, early on, but now with how expensive it is, it's if I wanted to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin and then get my photo op signed, that's gonna cost you $800 this year. So it's once I stopped meeting, the smaller names and started spending money to meet some bigger names. It was if I'm gonna meet the Undertaker again, and I'm gonna pay for an autograph, if I'm gonna spend $200, I want to get my figure signed, or do I want to get my 8x10 signed? When I die, will my kids look at the 8x10 of me and the Undertaker signed and be like, this is something that we should keep? This is really cool. There's a small chance that could happen.
Right.
When I die, is my wife going to be like, hey, we got to sell all this autograph shit? And oh my God, it's all worth nothing because it's all just signed pictures of them. There's a really good chance that could happen. Unless she hits up Tops and is like, hey, you want to buy this whole autograph collection for cut autos at 8 cents a pop? It's all useless then. So when I pivoted to figures, I really started going that route.
Well, that's how I felt when I did the pro photo op with Paul Heyman. And to me, I can go get an autographed 8x10 of Paul Heyman right now on eBay for $40-$50.
Yeah.
But to take a picture with him may never happen again. So that's why I kind of went that route, because I was like, I can always get something autographed. He's got 1 million Funko Pops available. He's got 1 million figures that are available, but he may never do a public photo op like that again, unless it's a WWE affiliated thing. So I chose that route, and I'm glad I did. I got just say hi 2 seconds, took a picture, and kept going. And I have that photo now. It's on my wall. I love it. I would never get it autographed because I don't need to. It's just for me, So
for sure. Yeah, I mean, if it's it's a free setting, maybe I would do it if it's someone I cared about. But also again, it depends on who it is. When I met Jason Kidd the first time, I took that picture, and the second time, I got that signed, and I still think that's cool because he's my favorite player ever.
Yeah,
but to do it for everyone, I have a picture of me and Matt Cardona signed, and me and Brian Meyer signed. But it's your VIP at at their show, you get 3 things signed. They do have infinite figures, but also if you're gonna get a drunk auto, that's a good item. If you're not picky on how your autographs look on a figure, go for it. You make out very well there. If you bring a Power Town 2-pack and get that signed by both of them, that's great. But if you're picking how your autos are gonna look, and I almost look at it as a game of what ridiculous item can I get signed here, or are they gonna get another micro brawler down the line, like let me bring one of those covers and just get that signed. And if I want, I can flip it, or but if in like a paid setting with what WWE World is charging, like these days, I can't. Even like Chelsea Green, like I love Chelsea. She's a $60 autograph at WWE World. Like, if that photo op signed is worth 120 to you, then do it. But right now where I'm at, like I'd rather get a gobbledygooker figure signed by her for $60 instead of a picture of me and her. But that's where I'm at.
No, that definitely makes sense.
So I feel like the autographed like figure market, and how many instances are you really getting something signed to flip to make money off of? I feel like almost at this point, signing stuff is just devaluing it, So I feel like you just, at the end of the day, if you enjoy collecting it and you love it, that's the whole purpose of getting, signings done.
That's definitely true. I mean, the one other thing I would say, if you're getting an 8x10 of you and somebody signed, like if you want that interaction, like you're going to get it with that. If you give someone an 8x10 of you and them and they're signing it, there is no, unless they're like a shit bag, they're not going to be like, oh, here, sign, give back to you. Oh, do you want me to make this out to you? What's your name? And of course you do in that sense, right? That's the only time you want something personalized. Oh, they'll be like, oh, where was this from? And then you'll be like, oh, it's so cool, whatever else. And like that will get you. That will open up dialogue. That will happen.
Right.
So I guess to kind of round things out, I wanted to ask one last thing. Who is someone that you're looking forward to the most this year, to whether it's WrestleCon, World, whatever, and who is someone that you would say is like an all-time just great experience that when you met them?
This year I got a couple that are pretty big. Great Muda. That's a rare one, and especially with his WWE deal now, like it lays out real well that you're going to be able to get that Ultimate signed.
Yep.
That's probably my biggest WrestleCon. Zack Sabre Jr. got added today, but he's literally there for like an hour. So with WWE World and whatever, like that could be tough. And then at WWE World, I would say Jade Cargill is someone who I've wanted a picture with for a while. I was very into AEW when it started, and she played a really big role there. And until she, like, other than WWE World type things, or when they did their like fan expo, like she's not someone who comes around. She's done like one con. So that's a name that I'm very interested in. And then the other one is CM Punk. He's someone who I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. I've had multiple instances where I was very close to meeting him and the line changed, or he wasn't there. AEW, you show up to an event thinking there's going to be a fan expo and he's not with the company anymore. So that's a big one for me. And I'm really excited about that one. Doing that photo op, and I'm splitting it with a couple of my friends. And that one other thing real quick, before one just great experience.
Sure.
Again, these prices are expensive, especially this year. Like if you're buying these photos at WWE World, just remember that like if you're there with your buddies, like wrestlers have two sides, right? Like you want to meet Tiffany Stratton, it's $100. Go with your buddy, stand on opposite sides. Use major cost $50 each and just crop them out. It's a great way to save half your money on everything. I'm not saying you should like go with, I mean, you could put up to 4 people in it. Like, if you want to do that, like you'll cut your costs even more. Of course, it's going to be tough to crop. Someone's not going to be next to the wrestler, but Danny messaged me earlier and he was like, oh, I wish Stephanie Vacker, and I could very easily could be like, oh, you want to split that? Cause I got one. But the conversation didn't progress there, but that could be on the table. So definitely, don't forget about that. It's a good way to save yourself some money.
That's 50% off right there.
Yeah. Great advice.
And then an all-time great meet. You want wrestling or anything? Wrestling. I would say, honestly, like could be Chelsea Green. I met her for the first time at WrestleCade right after she got released the first time. And she, had a table. I think she had like a micro brawler. And I had like that I wanted signed, 8x10. and a couple items, and like went up to her table, and she was just really happy to be there, interact with the fans. It's very genuine. And then, but then I like met her again at one of the major pod shows, and I like said I made some comment that like I was listening to her podcast, and my main takeaway, and I was like, this is not going to be any other guy's takeaway, is that she talked about how close she was with her sister, and that they're like 17 months apart. And that at that point, we just had our second daughter, and my daughters were 16 and a half months apart. And nice. I was panicked about everything in life. And I was like, maybe in time, like this will all be okay. And she was like, oh, you have a picture of your kids. I like showed her a picture. She thought that, told me they were cute, whether she believed that or not. You never know. But then last year at at WWE World, I was doing Superstar Row, which that is back this year. And if you are going to WWE World, definitely, that's the best bang for your buck. You walk through that line, you'll take a picture with 3 to 4 different wrestlers, just get back in, keep looping
it's
around.
Free.
Right. Yeah. Once you're there, you already paid for it.
Yep.
But she was there. I walked up and I like started to make a comment, and she was like, yeah, your daughters are like the same age gap as me and my sister. And like, she knew.
Wild.
And she was like, she asked if they like wrestling yet. And I said, no. But this year, that's a different story. Now, my 4-year-old is obsessed with wrestling. Chelsea's her favorite. And I'm going to meet Chelsea because my daughter she dressed up as Chelsea, wants this picture signed. And she knows, she comes to my office. She knows I get autographs. So she knows it's attainable. And 4-year-old laid out the law, and I'm listening.
That's your most important autograph right there. You don't come home without that.
That's why by Friday I got jacked up for WrestleCon, because now I got to be at WWE World at 9:30 in the morning to meet Chelsea Green. And once I was going, I'm not just going to get that signed. I like, all right, I have a figure. Maybe I have 2 figures that I need to find another ticket for. But yeah, so I would say that's a good one.
That's a great story. And then having a daughter now too, like I think about that stuff all the time. You never know what they're going to be into. And, I'm not someone I would never force my daughter to be into wrestling if she didn't want to be, but she does have a little replica belt that she walks around with. And she's got, Uncle Danny bought her some WWE onesies that she's been wearing. So I'm hoping, some of those pictures when she gets a little older, she'll take a look and she'll, want to get into it. And that's, for me, it's like, whoever she ends up being, if she loves Rhea, if she loves Tiffy or whoever, Chelsea, that's who I'm going to, end up flocking to also. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that's what, it was like, obviously she knows I watch wrestling, but she was like up in my office and I have signed figures on the wall. And one day she was like, how come I don't have any of these toys? And I was like, I was like, I'll get you a figure too. Just make sure that you don't take these ones off the wall. And she's pretty responsible. She understood. And then, so I like gave her 2 figures, and then she saw me opening e-pack on my phone. And she knows that at night she knows I do Whatnot. So she thinks my full-time job is selling wrestling cards, like legitimately. Nice. So she saw me doing e-pack on my phone and was like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's wrestling cards. And she asked if she could open some. She was very into MJF for a while. Because
understandably.
Because he's Jewish. And she thinks, she was like, okay. She's like, he's like Gus. So she's very into e-pack, but that got expensive. So now she like, part of our nighttime routine is she does Top Slam with me, and like she loves it. And she just
hell yeah.
rip like infinite cards.
Right
where's Dave Nagel? Screw you, Dave. People need Top Slam.
She made my wife download Slam on her phone, so if my wife's doing bedtime, she could do it. And then from there, one day she was like, "Can we watch?" I was like sitting down watching, and she was like, "Can I watch a girls' match?"
Oh.
And then I was like, we can watch Royal Rumble, and there's 30 girls in this match. She was mind blown, and now like legit every morning 6 o'clock she wakes up. Hey, can we watch Royal Rumble? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And we sit on the couch and just watch the same 8 matches over and over and over again.
I'm a kid too, Dave. But so that Marcus, thanks again for coming on, taking the time and running us through, especially when you're busy running around prepping for Mania and also while you're working in real life. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Marcus.
We'll talk to you. You running any Whatnot stream soon?
Yeah, plug the Whatnot if you're.
It's Marcus Brandon on Whatnot. If you see me WrestleMania week, I'll have a jersey that says on the back at Marcus Brandon on Whatnot.
That's good.
I'm sure I'll do something soon. I am skipping AEW, which pains me to do, honestly. I feel like breaking AEW like release week is a ton of fun. The fans are all super passionate and like, it's a good time, but just the timing with, like I was saying, I have a business trip I'm leaving for tomorrow morning. I come back Thursday. So at that point I would have missed release day. And then I fly out to Mania Wednesday. So it was like, unless I, got home late Thursday night, Friday night, did a break, Saturday did a break, mailed it all out. I feel like
That's
it
a
was
lot.
just like,
Yeah,
I want to get some time with the family.
Of
My
course.
wife's birthday this weekend too.
Oh,
Just wasn't,
jeez.
the timing just didn't work out for me.
When's
But
your
I'll,
wife's birthday?
What?
Mine's tomorrow. My wife's birthday's tomorrow.
oh, mine's the 13th is my wife's birthday.
Happy
But
birthday
yeah, I'll
to
be back
Mrs.
soon.
Marcus
Definitely, please
and
give me a
Mrs.
follow.
Bear.
What was that?
Happy birthday to Mrs. Marcus and Mrs. Bear.
I just hit 2,000 followers on Whatnot, which was like a big milestone
yeah.
for me.
There you go.
Congrats.
But definitely, if you give me a follow, I'll be breaking something again soon. Unfortunately for me, but fortunate for you, if you're coming to break, I got a lot of Sapphire left that I got to move. So
Oh,
the
baby.
prices are going to
Yeah,
be good. Come
How crazy
get
did you
it.
go with that? Yeah, when you text me, you went a little crazier than I did. You got good
I had
prices.
18 boxes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You
I
got
think I got 8. I have 8 left right now, I think.
You'll be able to mix them up into some breaks.
Yeah, and I think also, I think that this is a product that if you hold for,
You might want to hold on a couple of those.
I think I'll hold on to 2. I think that someone's gonna want it, not necessarily to rip it, but just to have this.
Of course.
This is like the first year back.
First
It's
time.
the first Sapphire ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I might even do something stupid and like send a box in to get graded and just have it like sealed and kept.
People have done weirder stuff that's made end up makes sense down the road. So you know, I don't think anything is a bad idea at this point.
There's no rookie logos, but there's a ton of NXT names. Like, you never know who's going to be the next Rhea Ripley, and all of a sudden, like, people are going to be like, "Oh, that Sapphire stuff was limited."
Yeah.
Yep.
I have none left. All right.
Yep.
Marcus,
That's Marcus.
we'll talk to you later, Marcus.
Well, thanks again, Marcus. I don't know if he could hear us or not, but he's frozen out. And I'll remove him from the chat. So,
all right. Well, that'll wrap up this week's episode. That'll wrap up the last segment of the show. So again, thank you to Marcus Brandon for jumping on and talking about that, the autograph, the autograph scene, the meet and greet scene. So, yeah, next week we will continue the WrestleMania chat. It'll be the last week before Mania, so we will discuss the entire WrestleMania card. We'll go one by one through each match. We'll discuss what we like, make our picks, and then we'll also talk about some card implications. So, do we think this particular match is going to help or hurt, that wrestler in the market? We'll talk about, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be next week's Card Corner. We will also continue bringing in the news. We'll talk about AEW, and 2025 flagship will be out. So if you are ripping, make sure to tag us in your hits. Make sure to go hit up everybody on Whatnot. Whether it's Marcus, whether it's Medina, I'm sure Card Shop Live. I don't know if they do AEW, but make sure to follow everybody. Jump in the stream and have fun ripping if you're going to be doing that. And yeah, we're almost at WrestleMania, so it should be a fun couple weeks.
All right, let's sign us off.
Yep. When it comes to wrestling cards, we are the best there is,
the best there was,
and the best there ever will be. Oh hell yeah!